Hi guys, I'm Dr. Nirmal. Welcome to my channel Doc Talk. So hi guys, the topic of today's discussion is how to plan your grand test and how to effectively review them. Okay, so मैंने already एक grand test पे वीडियो बनाई है कि what to expect and why you should give grand test, its advantages as well as disadvantages. Now this video is about some frequently asked questions related to grand test. Okay, now the very first question which came up is what should be the frequency of giving a grand test. So for me the ideal frequency is to give at least 4 grand tests per month. Okay, so it will be like every 7th or 8th day you should give a grand test. You can increase the frequency, like you can give every 5th day a grand test, not less than that, because अगर इससे कम में आप दोगे तो वो कहीं ना कहीं grand test बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है और आपकी रिवीजन अफेक्ट करेगी उससे. And you can even decrease the frequency by giving every 10th day. Okay, if you are starting your preparation, you can give twice a month grand test, that is like every 15th day. But if you are in you have done your video lectures and now you are revising, I prefer you should give for at least 4 grand tests per month. So like if you have to plan when to give grand test, go for like this. If you are first give your first grand test on second, if you, on a calendar day, then give the on the 8th day, that is on 10th, then 8th day on 18th, then 8th day on 26th, then 8th day on 4. So whenever you start making a plan for grand test, write down all the days which are coming and of the month, and just give every 7th or 8th day a grand test day. Okay, then you will know कि yeah, grand test आने वाला है. And the in between days you should plan, like you can say if you have given a grand test on second, then on 3 4th I will do medicine, and 5 6th I will do pathology, 7th 8th and 8th is for physiology, and on 9th I will have a buffer day in case I could not complete my syllabus in those 6 days. I will have a buffer day on 9th, and then 10th is on 10th is a GT day. Then again 11th 12th could be micro day, 13th derma day, 14th PSM, 15th could be your ops and gynae, 16th is FMT, and 17th again a buffer day. Then on 18th you have a GT day, and similarly you have to plan your whole week, or sorry, whole month like this only. Give the GT days first, then add the subjects in between the GTs. So this is how frequently you should give your grand test. This is an ideal situation, that is every 8th or 7th day, and 4 GTs per month is a must thing. Now what to do on a GT day? Now this is a like पहले एग्जाम इवनिंग में होते थे, तो लोग जीटीज इवनिंग में देते थे, आफ्टरनून में देते थे, बट अब एग्जाम मॉर्निंग में हुआ है. So I prefer you should give the exam in the morning. So first of thing is wake up at 6 a.m. Now why to wake up at 6 a.m. when the exam is on at 9 a.m. because on the day of exam you are not going to wake up at like 8 a.m. Okay, आप ये सोचो कि मैं GT day है तो it's not a very big day for me. I should give exam on at 9 a.m. So I will wake up at 8 a.m., have my breakfast at 8:30, and I will give the exam at 9 a.m. So actually, to be honest, this is the very like biggest mistake you will ever done, because the grand test is like a final day test. Okay, so the real exam, you should mimic the real exam on your grand test. So on the real day exam you will of course wake up at 6 a.m. you will freshen up and get your breakfast, and then you have to travel for your exam. Like if the exam center is nearby 1 hour from your home, you have to travel that. Okay, now on the grand test day you cannot do that. Of course you don't have to travel every week just to mimic the real exam. So it's better to wake up at 6 a.m. That's the must thing. Instead of traveling, you should do what should do you do is you should read. Okay, you should read till 8 a.m. Now if you read till 8 a.m., what to read? Okay, you can read your wall, you can read your chits, or you can read your notebook 20. If you have given few GTs before, there must be something in the notebook 20, and if this is your first GT, you will start preparing for notebook 20. Then you can read your wall or chit or anything that is in specific of the subject. Okay, then you can have your breakfast before 8:45 a.m. 8:45 a.m. के बाद कुछ नहीं करना है. You have to do everything before 8:45 a.m. After 8:45 a.m. just sit on your chair, put your laptop or PC on the table, and just head down for a while, like for 10 minutes, do a head down and calm yourself and log into your PC. Okay, and at a sharp 9 a.m. you should start your grand test. That is what you should do before 9 a.m. Okay, then where to give GT? Now this is a very interesting question and I have different answers to it. Now we have few options, like we can give it on an iPad or tab, which is very common nowadays. Most of the people use iPad or tabs for their video lectures, or we can give it in a mobile phone. Okay, like everyone have an Android mobile phone or iOS mobile phone where they have this app where they can give GTs, and we can do it on laptop or PC. And the very old method, which is now actually old, is books. So I don't think so you should give it on books. Books are too old for us, because the offline method of exam has been like, there is no offline method now, there is only online method. So you should stick to the online methods, and out of all these online method, I will prefer laptop and PC, that too with mouse. Now why laptop and PC with mouse? Because the real exam is going to happen on the PC and there will be a mouse. Okay, so basically in the real exam you don't have to use any keyboard for answering anything. You have to use the mouse. And if you are using a laptop at home and you is using the soft cursor there on the laptop, that won't help, because you are going to mimic the real exam. And I prefer you should have a mouse with the laptop and try to give your all the answer with the mouse help only. Rest, if you don't have any laptop or PC, then there is no option, then you have to give it on iPad or mobile phone. But if you have an option, go for laptop or PC, because that will mimic exactly the situation that you are going to take in the real exam. Okay, then what to do during GT? Now I have explained all these points in my previous video, that what you should do during GT and what are the advantages of giving a grand test. Now the very first thing is that time management. You will learn how to manage your time, and for that we have a rule. I have described this rule in my previous video, which is 70-70-60 rule. Okay, you know what this rule is? If you don't know, you can check out my previous video about grand test. 70-70-60 rule. By this rule you can manage your time during grand test, and you should practice that time management while giving grand test every week. Then you should learn how to give your full concentration and undivided attention in these 3.5 hours. Okay, then you should learn how to sit for 3.5 hours and don't get up for anything until unless you have to go washroom, because that is a situation that can happen in the real exam also. Otherwise there is no such situation कि दोस्त के साथ जाना है, बाहर खाने जाना है in during the GT, वो रियल एग्जाम में नहीं होगा. So it's best, अगर वॉशरूम जाना है तो then you can go, otherwise don't get up from your seat until the 3.5 hour exam is over. Okay, I guess that's all. That's for this, what to do during GT. Now what to do after GT? Now this is a very important question, like what matters the most and what doesn't matter at all. Now score, yeah, it do matters. Score matters. Okay, yes, it matters. Do the rank matters? No, rank does not matter. Do the percentile matter? No. This is about the grand test, not the real exam. Real exam, rank and percentile is everything. Okay, their score is nothing. But to this grand test, score matters. Rank and percentile does not matter, because grand test are like mock test, and you will not face like 1 lakh something people in the grand test. You will have only 5 to 10,000 people during your grand test. And if you are giving a very like free grand test, like from another app which is free to all, you might see 25 to 30,000 people there. That will not predict your rank. Okay, and percentile doesn't help there. So the best thing is to see the score. And the very very important thing you should know is to know how many questions are correct, and even more important than that is how many questions are incorrect. You should know these things. Okay, your score should be known, your correct questions, your incorrect questions should be known to you. Then what are your strong subjects? Now if you give a grand test, you will see that there are few subjects in which out of 10 questions you have corrected all the 10, out of 5 questions you have corrected all the 5 questions, or out of 7 questions you have corrected all the 7 questions. That are your strong subjects, for at least for that GT. And there will be some subjects that you will see like out of 7 questions you have corrected only 1 or 2, or out of 10 questions you have corrected only 3 or 4 questions, or out of 5 questions you have corrected only 1 or none. Okay, so those subjects are your weak subjects. Now you have to stress on them before the next GT comes. Okay, we will be talking about that in the review part. Okay, so the weak subjects and the incorrect questions are the most priority for your GT before when you review them, and the correct questions and strong subjects are there just to review them, so you know कि जो logic तुमने लगाया था for marking the option which came out to be correct was that right, वो सही logic था, वो सही points थे कि it was just a luck factor, क्योंकि अगर कुछ luck से सही हो रहा है तो वो उससे बुरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि लक हर बार नहीं चलेगा. ठीक है, समटाइम्स यू जस्ट click A B C D and sometimes you see like hypothyroid में you were confused and you marked hyperthyroid and by luck it was correct, but you don't know the real reason why it's hyperthyroid, and when the question will be asked again maybe in the real exam, and then you if you will mark hypothyroid because you don't know why you got correct this answer in the previous GT, then it will be a disaster for you. Okay, so it's better to know your incorrect questions as well as correct questions and the reason why they are incorrect or correct. Okay, I guess that's it. What to do after GT? You should know your score, correct, incorrect, strong and weak things. Do not bother about rank or percentile. Okay, now how to do a review. Now what to do during the review. Now the very first thing you should review is incorrect questions. Like if you have given 200 questions attempt and your 100 questions are incorrect. Okay, so let's start with the incorrect questions first know your all the incorrect questions that you have done and why you have done, and write briefly about them in the notebook 2020. Okay, notebook 20, not 2020. Notebook 20 you should write briefly. You don't have to write the paragraphs ki why kaisa galat ho gaya. You should like समझने की कोशिश करो कि क्यों गलत हुआ, एंड राइट इन योर ओन लैंग्वेज कि क्यों गलत हुआ एंड व्हाट इज द मेन थिंग जो याद रखनी है. देन यू शुड नो द करेक्ट क्वेश्चंस जो तुमने करे हैं और क्यों करेक्ट हुए हैं. जो लॉजिक तुमने दिया था और जो लॉजिक रियल में है वो मैच कर रहे हैं. अगर कर रहा है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, तुमने उस टॉपिक पे महारत ले ली है. बट अगर नहीं कर रहा देन यू शुड नो कि इट वॉज जस्ट माई लक कि वो क्वेश्चन सही हो गया. नाउ अगले टाइम पे मैं लक पे नहीं लॉजिक पे वो क्वेश्चन सही करूंगा. नेक्स्ट यू शुड नो योर वीक टॉपिक्स, क्योंकि इन टॉपिक्स को ही तुमने रिवाइज करना है. ओके, जो मैंने बोला था ना 6 AM से पहले 6 AM के बाद एंड 8:45 से पहले तुमने जो रिवाइज करना है चिट्स एंड नोटबुक 20, वो इसी के बारे में बात करता है. दीज आर द थिंग वीक टॉपिक्स, क्योंकि अगर तुम्हारा एक GT में कोई वीक है तो अगले GT में वो वीक नहीं रहना चाहिए, है ना. सिमिलरली वीक सब्जेक्ट्स को भी तुमने उसके नेक्स्ट वीक में करना है बिफोर द नेक्स्ट रिव्यू कम्स अप. और ऐसा नहीं कि पूरे टॉपिक्स पढ़ लेने, पूरा सब्जेक्ट पढ़ लेना. गो फॉर वीक सब्जेक्ट्स एंड दैट टू वीक टॉपिक्स ऑन दो सब्जेक्ट्स. तो जल्दी से जल्दी इनको रीड कर लो, साइड बाय साइड करते जाओ, एंड मोर यू रीड मोर यू विल लर्न. ओके, नाउ द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट टू डू नेक्स्ट. ओके, नाउ व्हाट टू डू नेक्स्ट, लेट्स सी व्हाट आर द possibilities that can come. Okay, what are the possibilities that can come? So you might have a less score. Okay, let's say कि पिछले GT में you scored around 400, now you have around 350 score. So that is a less score than previous GT. Okay, there maybe are numerous reasons for that. Maybe you were not prepared for this GT, or the topics you read, the topics that came in the GT were not read recently, or the GT was tougher than the last GT. Okay, so there could be so many reasons why you scored less. So you don't have to procrastinate about it or feel like okay now I am in depression or I think I should give up. You don't have to think about that. Like, or what if the score came same? Okay, now last GT it was 400, this GT is 400. So what to do next? Okay, the score is same. So though it's not a bad situation to have a same score, because neither if you are not gaining score, you are not even losing the score. Okay, so it's a good situation. And the best part is if you get a better score, like last GT it was 400, now you got 430. So it's a good score. Now you are increasing your score. In all these three situations, the thing you have to do is common. Now what that thing is you have to do is find the weak topics and read them. चाहे स्कोर अच्छा आए, चाहे स्कोर बुरा आए, चाहे स्कोर सेम रहे, करना एक ही चीज़ है, फाइंड द वीक टॉपिक्स एंड रीड देम. क्योंकि चाहे जितना मर्जी अच्छा स्कोर आ जाए वीक टॉपिक्स होंगे, चाहे जितना मर्जी बुरा स्कोर आ जाए वीक टॉपिक्स हैं, और चाहे सेम स्कोर रहे वीक टॉपिक्स हैं. तो हमें वीक टॉपिक्स पे ध्यान देना है, क्योंकि अगर हमारे वीक स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं ना होंगे तो स्ट्रॉन्ग ही वीक हो जाएंगे बाद में. ठीक है, समझ रहे हो. तो वीक टॉपिक्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग करते रहो और स्ट्रॉन्ग को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाते रहो और ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाते रहो. सो दिस इज व्हाट टू डू नेक्स्ट. Now, if you are done with your review, like you have done with your review, what to do, then you can take rest. Okay, let's say you gave exam at 9 a.m. and 12:30 khatam ho gaya exam. Then you took a nap for half an hour. Then you had your lunch and 2 p.m. you started reviewing your GT, and by 7 p.m. your GT review is complete. Now you have left with 2 hours. Okay, now what to do in that 2 hours? You want to read in that 2 hours? I don't suggest that, because हर हफ्ते तुम एक जीटी देने वाले हो. सो यू कैन टेक योर जीटी डे एज अ चीट डे. ओके, नाउ व्हाट टू डू ऑन दैट चीट डे? द बेस्ट थिंग इज टेक रेस्ट. बाहर जाने तुम जा सकते हो, बट द बेस्ट थिंग इज टू टेक रेस्ट, टू वॉच समथिंग इफ यू वॉन्ट. लाइक कुछ ना कुछ तो आ ही जाता है जो तुम्हें देखना हो हफ्ते में, तो यू कैन कॉल इट योर रिवॉर्ड कि मैंने जीटी दिया है, दिस इज माई रिवॉर्ड टुडे. आई विल वॉच दैट एपिसोड, और आई विल वॉच दैट क्लिप और दैट सॉन्ग. ओके, और आई विल वॉच दैट मूवी टुडे. Okay, you can do that because this is like a treat for you. Giving a GT is in itself should be rewarding. Okay, then one thing you should do is plan your next day and then sleep. Okay, plan your next day and then sleep. That will be whole. So आपका पूरा GT डे कैसा होगा? यू विल सबसे पहले तो आप प्लान कर लो अपने जीटीज कब तक देने हैं. ओके, यू शुड प्लान द होल मंथ की कब कब जीटीज देने हैं. देन ऐड योर सब्जेक्ट्स जो जो आपने उन जीटीज में जीटी से पहले और बाद में करने हैं. देन सुबह 6 बजे उठ के अपना जीटी के लिए पढ़ना शुरू कर दो. 9 बजे अपना जीटी दो. 12:30 तक खत्म होने के बाद टेक हाफ एन आवर नैप, लंच करो. फिर अपना जीटी को रिव्यू करो. फाइंड द स्कोर, फाइंड द इनकरेक्ट करेक्ट क्वेश्चंस, फाइंड द वीक टॉपिक्स, फाइंड द वीक सब्जेक्ट्स एंड स्ट्रॉन्ग सब्जेक्ट्स. Then after reviewing them at around 7 p.m. it will be over. Then you can take a rest, or you can watch a movie, or you can treat yourself. You can go have a good food. Okay, whatever you feel like. अगर तुम foodie हो तो of course you will go for a food, or अगर you want to watch your something on Netflix, you can watch that in that 2 hours. Okay, then plan your next day. What are you going to do on the next day, and then sleep. I guess that's how a ideal GT day should look. I guess that's all. If you have any query, you can ping me on my Instagram. The link will be given below.